welcome back to Movie Reviews. Time for the 5th series now. So let's begin. Under Siege, 1992. Yes, Under Siege. Quite an interesting way to start off the series. Directed by Andrew Davis, and it stars the one and only Steven Seagal. Under Siege. This is probably a very good film, actually. I had this on VHS back in the day. I've seen it maybe a couple of times, you know. It's always a great film to it's an action film, and a very good one, actually. Interesting enough. So, Under Siege. So for people who don't know what Under Siege is, if you've lived on a rock for I don't know how long, probably since this film came out, so we would say about more than 20 years. So it's to do with a cult called Casey Ryback, who's played by Seagal, who boards a battleship, a US military, or was a US Navy battleship, and he's basically the cook there. And obviously, during the point in the film, he's sort of mistreated slightly to the general or the colonel of the group, who's played by Gary Busey. And obviously, the visitors, or well, the sort of accomplices that they're waiting for, are actually sort of like hippie terrorists. One of them is played by Tommy Lee Jones, and then obviously they take over the battleship, and obviously Steven Seagal's character Ryback actually has to use his wits, action moves, and all sorts of stuff to take them out, which is interesting. So anyway, this is read by Andrew Davis. He's probably I don't know what other films he's done really. Well, no, I'm not too sure what other films he's been doing. So, but he's been he's sort of a prolific director. He is. The directing style obviously is great. It's got a bit of a Die Hard inspired feel to it. Of course, the same one location. You've got one guy taking out a lot of thugs and enemies. You know, it's that sort of standard formula, but it's sort of done well. Obviously, Seagal is great in this one. He obviously takes well the part. He's very good presence. And also his fight style as well, which is interesting. I mean, technically Seagal's American, he is, and obviously his fight style's more towards the, I think it's Japanese. I think it is more towards Japanese, or I don't know really. But he's fine compared to Jean-Claude Van Damme and maybe like Chuck Norris. I think, you know, they always have different fight styles themselves, like how they do it, how they were trained and everything. Very much so, and obviously it sort of comes into play with this movie now and again. I think in the other films they was in, like Above the Law or Nico as it was, or what was the other one? Let me look now. Alpha Justice, that was it. It was sort of there, but it was only for in tiny little bits. Here, I think it displays it more better. If I'm right or wrong, if you know what I mean. What else have we got here? So we've also got the actress who I can't remember who the name is, and she's basically a pie stripper that sort of like gets up in the crossfire. Actually, they sort of team up together and stop it, and so forth and so forth. Anyway, I'm just trying to think what else we've got. Gary Chang, who actually did the music. To be honest, the music itself is a bit. That's okay. Anyway, obviously, who else is on here? Who actually? And Andrew Davis did that. Steven Seagal actually helped produce this movie as well. Funny enough, he did produce. I think he actually helped produce a lot of the movies, most of the movies on here. Actually, if I remember. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I just realised something. I totally when looking through the DVDs. Well, actually, he helped produce most of his movies. Andrew Davis. Actually, just didn't realise this now. He actually did help direct and produce with Steven Seagal on Nico or Above the Law, which is sort of his first mainstream movie, I think, or first acting debut. And obviously they worked together on Under Siege, obviously. And as it says on the title of Los Angeles Times, it says Die Hard on a battleship, a high-tech thriller with action feels, which is good anyway. I mean, it's as I mentioned before, it's what it is, you know. And direction-wise, it is good. I mean, Under Siege is probably one of his better films. I mean, I've reviewed Exit Wounds on the first series, actually, so you can look back at that review as well. However, most of these films I've got, especially in the 8-disc box set that I've got, that I've kept for years. I mean, with Under Siege and the sequel as well, and the 6 other movies, you know, and I think this sort of like his best. I mean, stuff from the direct-to-DVD stuff, I give it a miss. Just don't bother that at all. I mean, I find it quite pointless. But some other stuff as well that sort of lingers around. I mean, for like Mark for Death on Deadly Ground, that's okay stuff as well. However, if you want good 90s Steven Seagal, Under Siege is probably a better choice. Indeed, and maybe stuff like Glimmerman as well. I mean, it's interesting enough. I mean, or probably. Anyway, anything else to talk about this movie? There was a sequel produced as well that came out in '95. However, I won't be talking about that anyway. However, it's like I said, it's similar vein with the sequel. However, on different transport. That's how it is. I mean, you can have further guesses, but if you don't know what the sequel is or what it's set on, well, have a few guesses. It might help. Yes. So that's all I can really say about Under Siege, really. I've talked about everything, actually, So, is it worth watching? Yes, it is, because it's one of Steven Seagal's better movies. It came out in the 90s, and obviously it ushered in a sequel, and it sort of made him like more of a superstar as well. That gave him, even though he had other films like Nico and Out for Justice already came out. But with Under Siege, it's more. I would say it's more better. It's more concise. It's more interesting. Okay, it's to do with a cook and a rogue CIA operative, a couple of terrorists, and a couple of military soldiers on a battleship. What can you ask for? That's an interesting. But though it's an interesting combination, it's okay. It's not bad. So that is the review of Under Siege from 1992, and I'll see you for the next video.